it's nice and cool in here. Good boy. Good lumpy boy.
Bits for you and yours, friendo. Hugs.
Vanderbeest and Bacon, cheers to you, and obviously thank you. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. How are you all doing? Tell me your tales, friends. Tell me your tales. Oh. I've still got cool arty shit for today. And Vanderbeest, like, thank you. We knew it was coming. It's not like it was a shock and a surprise. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll... And Keldra, Watto and welcome. Hello, hello, friend. How goes it, friends? Tell me your tales. Alright, and Vanderbeest, thank you for filling the pint glass. Yeah, sorry. I don't really, yeah. Banter's a touch hard today. Both Amos and River have been absolute terrors, of course. And the Sea of Thieves puzzle did get solved. So, for those of you that wish for the answer, we now have it. If you want to solve it yourself, it's still out there. It's fascinating that the last part of it was one of those, it's so obvious once you say it out loud parts. But yes, friendos, I have a wonderful, wonderful classic game for us to trundle through today. And one thing that was really interesting is I looked up some like history of Rez, the game we're going to be playing this afternoon. And what was fascinating is that no one's done a good deconstruction. Like, I had a look. There's one individual who's going on this super deep dive metaphysical journey, but kind of misses the point and sees Rez as this like apocalyptic destruction of the self. And I'm like, okay, we obviously didn't play the same game. And the other guy who did like a history of the game was one of those like classic G4 emulation, like, hi, I'm not covering FIFA today, I'm covering a game you haven't heard of. And it just made me want to bash my face into the desk. Sorry, Keldra, I was reading the Tales of Your Day, and I read Half Drunk Mocha, and I was like, who's Mocha? What did they get into? That's a level of brain power I'm batting for today. Oh, and Vanderbeest, you know what? Lazy Day sounds pretty feckin' good. Little trundle up to the mountains. And Fearless, I hope your op goes well, and thank you for the boost. Yeah. Jonerus, Watto and welcome. Hello, hello. Hey, and Wolfcrowd, like, thank you for saying. It's certainly been a day, and like I said, we were aware this. So, I guess for those of you who just joined us, Watto and welcome. Our eldest guinea pig, little big man, passed away today. We took him into the vets, and if you've not had guinea pigs, there isn't.
Stop that excessive clicking.
Yeah, there isn't really a lot to be doing for guinea pigs if they get very, very ill. Surgery is like an absolute dice roll because their little bodies aren't really designed for it. yeah, so it's been a bit of a sad morning. It took me a little while to get up to speed, but like I said, we knew this was coming. He was always our eldest. It wasn't a surprise, and he's been really, really like uncomfortable and unhappy for a few days. We were genuinely surprised, like he made it through the last couple of days. You know what I mean? So yeah. But NDH, thank you for the sentiment, and I hope you're having a lovely Saturday. You know. Yeah. Wolfcrad, yeah, that's the way to put it. And, I mean, for those of you who don't know, so, like, Perun was our oldest nuggie. The two that we got together with Gunnar. Gunnar had a heart attack in the night years back. And that was more kind of like a surprise out of nowhere. But with Perun, like, we knew what was happening. But yeah, like he's the little man that got us through like lockdown, and he had his own stream, like an iconic voice. So he's been, for such a small creature, he's been such a huge part of my life for a good few years. So it's been a big one, but like I'm doing good, friends. And Wolfgrad, cheers to you. Ludo, Watto, and welcome. And Angel Kalina, like, yeah, thank you kindly. But yeah, I'll probably chat to you all about the specifics on
Reactor online, sensors online.
Hey!
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
How you doing?
What ho? My condolences. May Perun rest well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so, like, thank you kindly. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you all don't think I'm being too blasé. Like, it was a very, very teary day, and the problem about understanding animals and growing up with them is you know, like, the realities of it. So I'm just kind of in a little acceptance state. Like I said, there wasn't anything to be doing, and so
Had a moment today when I looked at my beautiful kittens after your news and went, oh, they're a decade old now, and had a bit of a feel.
Aww.
Not the first time we'll say goodbye to a fur baby, but it's worth the time.
Yeah, Unspector, absolutely. And I often think about how hard our pets work to keep us going. I don't know. We joke about how, like, cats are essentially like the roommates that don't pay you. But I've always seen them as creatures that put in a large amount of their life and their effort into keeping us going. Like, it must seem so strange to be so heartbroken about, you know, the passing of a guinea pig, but like, Perun put in the fucking hours to keep us going through Check's notes, a historical event that will be talked about for as long as there are humans. Because I love you, baby boy, but you're a challenge modifier. One day you will support us, and I look forward to that day. Like, both River and Amos have been violently sick all over the house today, which is great. River's is because she got into something she wasn't supposed to, and I guess Amos was just in solidarity. I don't know. But no, like, that's how I choose to think of things, like, you know, cats, dogs, guinea pigs, etc. I understand the synchronicity of it, but like, that's their job. Their job is to keep us going. Some of them actually are officially branded thus. And in that regard, you know, Perun went above and fucking beyond. So, props to the little man. Perun, star of stage and screen, host of the Guinea Pig Rave, that was the only noise complaint we got in our last apartment. So, for those of you who didn't see it, I guess, like, because Keldra, you already found us... Oh, and Angel Kalina. And Mandel, thank you for the bits. Also, Puns, I didn't say thank you for the bits as well. Sorry, where are my fecking manners? But yeah, in our previous flat, we had a second stream called Guinea Pig Nation, which was just a 24/7 stream of the guinea pigs with chill beats. And that was it. You could just watch guinea pigs hanging out, guinea pigs having a snooze.
Drive by Bitney, and now I sleep, it is late. Also once again, condolences to you, yours and ours long ship Viking 64 had Guinea 12 week, Guinea 12 week.
Martin, sincerely thank you. I really appreciate it. Right. Seriously, thank you. But yeah, in our previous flat, we had this second guinea pig stream, and we basically cobbled a PC together out of old parts to be the stream computer for that, to run Guinea Pig Nation. However, that meant that right next to the kitchen we had a PC set up. So one particular evening, I believe it was like a Halloween where no one had like a Halloween party or something. Forget the specifics. But a friendo came round and we decided to get drank. I went into the bathroom to pee. I came back out, and Fiona and friendo had killed the lights, had used the computer to start playing some old bangers, specifically the Dota song. No, Dota, banana. Alright. It was a Eurobeat banger, don't worry about it. But using the lighting that we had in the guinea pig cages as a fucking, like, RGB, I don't want to say strobe, but RGB party light. Because we got strip lights for the guinea pigs so that, you know, their cages could be a bit brighter and so people watching the stream could see. But they were RGBs, so all you had to do is push a couple of buttons and jobs are good. I think I actually have the same thing for the lights above me, although I don't know if you can tell. No, that's the slow fade. Go this way. No, even slower. There we go. So it was those kind of lights. No. There we go. So yeah. So Mr. Squarepeg, the question is, we don't know. We've wanted to get Guinea Pig Nation back up and online, but once again, the youngest of the family has been a very, very large time commitment. So it's not been something we've been able to get up and running. We'd still love to. Plus, any parts of the flat that are used exclusively for streaming are tax deductible. So, much like this room, that would make a larger portion of the living room tax deductible nugget homes. And Jackie Watto, and welcome. I can promise you no Zelda, and also no Eurovision spoilers as well. I will personally wee on your front door at some point should you post Eurovision spoilers, because I'm going to a Eurovision party tomorrow, so I'm going to try and stay unspoiled. And Captain Stephanie Barnes, Watto, and welcome. So yeah, I don't have too much to natter on. I don't have too much to add. Just that we knew it was coming, and it was as good a send-off as any of us can hope for, you know what I mean? I'm just trying not to freak out about money. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So I'm not going to talk about it. What we are going to do today is we're going to hang out. For those of you that are playing Tears of the Kingdom, I have got a wonderful game. It's kind of like a backing track. And honestly, Rez is one of those games that it's all about the vibe, the implied feelings of it. Although originally, for those of you who don't know, like, Rez is a game that's been around for ages. And originally, you could plug in multiple controllers that would all vibrate in rhythm with the music. And so the idea was it was meant to be like two controllers on your neck, but it was never stated but never implied that one of the controllers should be in the general crotchal region. So that's kind of been a running joke with Rez. I believe. Okay, what was the special controller? The trance vibrator. And that was with the PS2 version. Oh no, sorry, friends, I'm not even joking. So this is the PS2 variant with the Rez Trance Vibrator. Ludo, innuendo implies subtlety. It's just called the Trance Vibrator. Now, I believe its intention was genuinely wholesome, that it would plug into the PS2 and it would vibrate along with, you know, the music. And once we get into game, you'll kind of understand, like, it's going for this whole vibe. It feels like the in-between segments in Lawnmower Man, with kind of like an art house thing going on. However, there's one thing we know about human beings. There's one thing we know about human beings, and it is the reason why electric toothbrushes are often kept behind locked cabinets. And that is, if it goes rumble rumble, it's going to end up inside a person. That's just the long and short of it. Oh, J-Post, Rez would be absolutely a great game to get high and play, because while its implication is that it's a rail shooter, in actuality it's more about this like drift of movements. Yeah, Vanderbeest, putting the vibe in vibrator. Sorry. You'll have to forgive me if I get a bit 1,000-yard starey intermittently today. But yes. That was the additional controller variant that kind of cemented Rez sort of in like the mimetic nature of video games. All in all, like I said, Rez is all vibes. It's all implication. And it's definitely one of those games that whilst... Well, okay. Let's bring it back. With Rez originally, it was kind of pitched in this fascinating way that it is, for all intents and purposes, a rail shooter. You fly through this cyberspace environment, and as you shoot bad guys, you progress. However, it's almost like I don't want to call it a rhythm game, but everything that you do stacks and adds to the soundtrack of what's happening. You know, Blasting Fools kind of folds itself into the music and vibes of the whole experience. And so, yeah, this is why it's one of those games I really wanted to share with you all. And I was trying to think about what would be a good game for today. Because, you know, most people are going to be second screening this, playing a spot of Zelda, or wanting something that is drastically different than anything else going on. And so for that, I got you. I thought this would be the perfect day to get into it. I am sorry we didn't start earlier. I had grand intentions. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. But we are here now. Again, to those of you that are playing Sea of Thieves, the Sea of Thieves mystery has been cracked. So for those who are piratey inclined, you can begin part 1 of the Hoarder's Hunt. I do like the way that the ARG and the in-game elements are very clearly separated into stages, because with the Marco puzzle, it wasn't quite clear what was and wasn't in-game, out-of-game. Also, if you didn't know who Marco was, you really didn't care, but a treasure hunt with actual treasure, that's the kind of shit a pirate can get behind. Aside from that, friends, aside from bad news, thankfully I have no other bad news. I spent some more time last night chipping away at Redfall. I think I'm either going to ask Skadi if they have the bandwidth to do the edit for this, or I might hit up like McElroy, because I know Deus is like currently up against it with all the IRL things, so I don't want to ask them, but I really want to do this like a Detective Columbo type thing, you know what I mean? Right, the more time I spend with Redfall, the more I want to be able to tell the story that the devs can't. Do you know what I mean? Because it's very fascinating that in video games, it's only the bad video games where you can really start to see the cracks. You know, a great video game... Oh, hey, Cam Steph, you can ask as many questions as you want. This is your house. This is our house. And Neo Stowe, I'd love to do video essays. We did one on Half-Life Alyx, which was fucking brilliant. And unfortunately, Half-Life Alyx people either vehemently avoided spoilers or didn't play it. So we made a great video about a great part of a great game that nobody wants to hear about. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'd love to be able to do it. It's just, again, it's hours in a day. It's what I've been really enjoying making videos for like TikTok and stuff like that, because it just kind of forces me to just go. Because I really admire Reset the Clock, a whole bunch of video essayists, Movies with Mikey, Love 'Em or Loathe 'Em, ContraPoints, obviously Foldable Human and stuff like that. Like, I love those, and I'd love to be able to bat to that level. However, I get to hang out with you all 5 days a week, so I'm already fucking winning. And Rilu, what a welcome. How you doing, friend? And Cam Steph, thank you for the bits. Oh. God, yeah, you all won't see me on Tuesday. We'll have to sneak in. I'm trying to bully Fiona into joining me for a stream maybe on Monday. Probably not. Well, no, just tomorrow's Eurovision. For those of you who don't know, Tuesday I'm going to be a judge for an indie game contest down in Seattle. I'm going to a very businessy event called Pocket Gamer Connects, and I will be one of the judges for the big indie pitch. Oh God. Sorry, Rilu was just saying their entire body is slathered in deep heat. That explains how I'm doing today. No. Like, Rilu, if you want to just pop on over, we're having actual heat here. It's actually warm in Seattle. I mean, look at this. And yeah, Captain Steph, I remember you saying Tuesday's your birthday. And hopefully I'll get to wish you happy birthday, like, either, before or after. I'm sorry that I'm not going to be live that day. The day started burns. And yeah, Ludo, and there's also, having done YouTube stuff professionally in the past, there's a certain trepidation when it comes to editing. For those of you that do like Warhammer or... You know what's a good one? Like knitting, crochet, Lego, any of those like hobbies with instructions. Editing's kind of like that, but less fun. Now, there are some people out there that fucking love editing, and I admire them like heroes. But having to do editing for a living and running up against deadlines and stuff like... Okay, no, sorry, let me rephrase that. A large part of my job when I was at the Creative Assembly morphed into creating and editing our YouTube show, which was Rally Point. Now, Rally Point wasn't like a world-ending difference, although there was a couple episodes that got into the millions of views. I'm very proud of that. But yeah, friends, the amount of times I'd be sitting there at like gone midnight, just trying to piece together the edit, making sure it works, and getting the render done was just an arse. was just an absolute arse. So, yeah. I have the utmost admiration and respect for people who do YouTube professionally, because having done it, and that's the thing is, they do it where their YouTube video success denotes how well they can live and eat. I was doing it for a company, like my paycheck was paid. As long as I kept banging out those videos, I wouldn't get in trouble with HR.
Reactor online.
Hey!
Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Downs it, how's it going?
What ho?
Watto and welcome, friend. Hello, hello. How goes it? Sorry, forgive me if I'm a little spacey today, but Dalzette, that's nearly 2 years worth. Also, do you mind if I'm just a little bit, I don't want to say petty for a second. This may come across as petty, but it is unlikely that I will do a Patreon, because I've been trying to find out a bunch of information over the last couple of days. I was trying to find out how to fix one of the controllers that look at this little cute face back there. You see this cute face? Yeah. Killed my Xbox pad. So I've got to get a new one. Well, actually, I'm using Old Faithful until we have money, but you know what I mean. So I've been going through a lot of YouTube videos to try and find solutions, and I've been watching a lot of stuff on
4 months on this account and worth every moment I can make it.
Aw. Hey, Ludo. I'm super glad. You know what? I'm not going to get into the petty. What I am going to say, just because here I am bitching about, doing YouTube for a living and stuff like that. If I hadn't been doing stuff for CA, I probably wouldn't have met, Floydo. If I hadn't met Floydo, I wouldn't have met most of you lot. So, And also, there's nothing to be doing on the pay. I shall not let it consume me. All I was going to add is that it's unlikely that I will do a Patreon because sometimes some of those please support me on Patreon messages come across really fucking hollow. And I fucking fear sounding like some hollow shill of a bugger. That's why I don't like talking to you all when we're having trouble, because I don't. And it's not that I don't like being able to do this, I just don't like sounding like a hollow piece of shit, So yeah. But anyway, jumping back. I'm just, if I can work with an editor, I'd love to. The thing I am going to do with the Redfall video is a lot of research. We're talking Pepe Sylvia with the board. Because you know what's been really fascinating? Sorry, I'm going to jump back to Redfall for just a second. So I'm in the second area. in some of the main story beats. So to put it into context, because I've not been playing all of the side missions, and I did miss a bit of content from the first island, primarily the little the lockets of hair that give you the arcing super plot, which would have been brilliant if they'd had time. I'm about 20 hours in, right? And I just hit a proper good immersive sim style mission where it's your choice how you approach an environment. And in that environment, it's up to you how much you can stand. Basically one of the vampire cults offers you a pass. They want to introduce you to Bloody Tom, one of the vampire gods. And the cult of Bloody Tom has been told, hey, just let them walk in. Let them walk in, and if they will do some basic tasks and talk to the Bellkeeper, one of Bloody Tom's vampire commandos or whatever, if you'll do that, then Bloody Tom will take an audience with you in his strange mind palace. And you're free to explore the compound and deal with it, but it keeps presenting you with here are a bunch of humans being kept as food. Here are the cultists doing bad things. Here's vampires doing bad things. And they even go so far as to make you go down into the caves and take blood from one of the blood bag monsters. Which, they weirdly like, but it's real creepy. And if you do all those, but you also have the option to like stealth in, snap some necks, well, clack some gobs, steal the things that you need to access the secret door behind the bellkeeper, or you just go daka daka daka. Now, as immersive sim philosophies go, it's very rudimentary, but it felt very organic because it was designed in an open world. And the thing is, because of the care and attention, there's no way that was one of the last things they put together. It's not rushed, which means they made the big island and the little island at the same time. But wait, hang on. If they did that, then what got the most attention? And if that's the case, why can I not travel between the islands? See what I'm saying? Yeah, so Archivist, that kind of infiltration is very fun. It's something that Deathloop mastered, because with Deathloop you can fail, but then you just have to restart the day again. So it gave you the situation of being like very stealthy and sneaking your way in. But if things went awry, rather than load your save, you had to just fucking wing it. So that's when you just bring out the Daka Daka. With this one, I went with the agreement path. I didn't free the hostages, which is unlike me in a video game. And I didn't kill the vampires because I wanted to see how far it would let me go. Like, it kept trying to tempt me with good moral choices, which, again, in a regular immersive sim, as soon as I saw the vampires, like, lining people up like an all-you-can-snack buffet, I would have been like, shame! But this time I just wanted to see how far they'd taken it. And it was genuinely fascinating. So, why didn't we see that care and attention at the beginning of the game? Well, because the beginning of the game wasn't supposed to be the beginning of the game. That's my current theory. But don't quote me on that. I'm still deconstructing it. But sorry, yeah. So Dungeon Drafters looks fascinating. I've been gifted this game called, like, I think it's called Orcs with a K? Yeah. And I'm scared of it because it looks like a blend of Loop Hero and Tower Defense. And I am one man, and that would destroy me. Yeah, so Archivist, yeah, the details being uneven in a way that doesn't make sense is what's made me so fascinated with trying to solve the mystery of Redfall, you know what I mean? And again, sorry if I've talked to you about this like 8 times. It's just, this is one of the few mysteries I haven't just been able to solve, you know? So Neo Shadow's asking if they'll try and fix Redfall into a decent state. Neo Shadow, like, I think the back end of Redfall is held together with spit and a prayer. I don't even know which god that prayer is being leveled to, but most certainly it's only just holding. My current working theory is that internal fighting, in that Redfall was originally just going to be a co-op shooter in the arcane style. Probably die for you. Yeah, you're right, Steph. Probably die for you. But yeah, that was the original premise. And then somebody went, we're going to make it a live service looter shooter. And the team went, fuck, alright, I guess. And the process of trying to make that into that kind of fucked everything. And it fucked everything so badly that they had to make a go, no go call. Which is probably when we had that big round of delays from Redfall. And the other teams were brought in to help finish it. Because the team must have tried everything under the sun to turn it into as something it couldn't be. And then had to just go, nah, fuck it, we can't do this. Kyble's also been doing some digging about the different teams involved and stuff. But, like I said, friends, I didn't have time to get into the Sea of Thieves ARG, so I've been keeping along. But this is mine. This is my puzzle to solve. No one else is trying to crack it like this, because like half of everybody went, "Fuck you guys, this game sucks," and the other half went, "Hey, be nice to those guys. They're game devs. They have a hard job." And no one's able to sit down and go, "But why did this happen?" Like, and if I can decipher it, I can tell the world, "Hey, don't be mean to these guys because this fucking happened." Though I may draw the line at naming names because I realized that with the size of Bethesda and Microsoft, it might be possible to find out who's in charge of like live service distribution and who's in charge of like brand, who's in charge of like arcing stuff. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to be the guy that names guys. Do you know what I mean? So Moose is putting forward if there were two leads with different ideas. I wouldn't say so, because aside from the looter-shooter mechanics, nothing else about the game is really in contention. There's a lot of recycling and there's a lot of reusing, but the game's not at odds with itself. It's uneven. It's evenly uneven, and it's weirdly busted.
What ho friend so? It's cursed knowledge o'clock. You never actually stop clapping. The duration between claps just gets longer.
Hell yeah. I'm still winning a game of Last Clap with a bunch of friends. You ever played Last Clap? It's when you go to like a gig or a show or a bar or something and everyone starts cheering and the goal is to be the last clap. Last audible clap. You can't just be like, you got to give it a proper oomph. And caffeine, thank you for the bits, friend. And yeah, so Ludo History, yeah, jumping back, taking a... So I don't think Redfall was ever going to be Left 4 Dead-esque, but I think it was going to be more of a traditional co-op game. Because one of the interesting things is all the dialogue between characters is very well fleshed out, which means that the original intent of having 4 characters that jammer on at each other, and that being the core structure of like the characterization and delivery, that stayed. The bases, the items, hell, the way in which weapons are distributed. Because what's fascinating, they have legendary weapons in the game, right? Not unlike Deathloop and others. However, they're random drops. But their functionality and their design is well beyond that of like random drop good loot. But there's no rhyme or reason as to where you get them. There's probably a drop table that increases with certain, but like I found a legendary pistol just about, and the legendary pistol can kill vampires at distance, making it incredibly powerful. Because if you haven't played Redfall, when you encounter a vampire, you daka until they are stunned, and then you jam a spike into their heart, right? You can either do that, you can use a UV laser to freeze them, or turn them to stone and then shatter them, or you can just fucking burn them. But either way, you have to get the vampire down to a certain point, and then do an thing, which usually means like closing the gap or using environmentals. But I picked up a pistol that's like the problem solver. Oh, what's that? I clacked that guy in the gob and now he's gone. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to run over to... Wait a second! I'll solve this problem with new vamp gun! Clack! He's dead! I win! Like, that is something that should only be available at like super duper late game. But I've gotten it like, I guess like, by my calculation, about nearly halfway through the game. Not quite. About a third through. So Archivist, again, from my deductions, they had a very ambitious start. The start was the world. Like, the open world was definitely inscribed from the get-go, and the cooperative. And in fact, encountering certain areas you can see some of the arcane level design philosophy. Sadly, in others, you can see where someone just had to run through there and just throw assets and buildings at it to just make it look like somewhere. But I think the ambition was started strong. I think the live service was what fucked it, and then having to just go, we can't do this, and then remove whatever work was done for the live service, that's what we got left with. Like, they built this thing, and then were forced to build it into something else, and then unbuild it. I don't know if any of you have ever had to unbuild anything, but it's a laborious and painful process. Anyway, I'm spoiling my own video before I've made it. All I need to do now is find an editor. Yeah, and this is the thing. This is a fascinating problem, because with most games you can tell. There are games that are wildly overambitious that do not land. And there are games that they had a good, strong idea, and the budget went, nah, fam. Or others where they were going for something technical and they just couldn't make it land. Oh no, Legend, I absolutely mean like that, like having to unbuild a Lego set because something just isn't working. Or like me and any of my Gundam knees. I actually got a special tool. It cost me like $3 and is a fucking lifesaver. Yes, this is me letting the conversation go anywhere. So I got this little thing that looks like the world's cheapest knuckle duster. And it has like a bladed metal chunker in it. And so it's just for leveraging parts apart. And it has been a godsend, let me tell you. I mean, I will say, sorry, jumping between topics. Fecking things up and having to learn how to rebuild them has probably been the best teacher for Gundams. I was talking with I want to say Tuna? But we were talking about how they lost a part for one of their kits. And I was like, yo, you should work out how to build it with, like, leftovers and spare parts. At the moment, like, it don't look like much, but while I'm rebuilding the Barbatus that Jaraland gave me, I didn't realise that on this particular fin, the tip had been snapped off in transit, and I haven't been able to find it. So it should look like this, right? Should look like this. But one half of this little nubbin had snapped off. So because it's going to get painted, I'm using leftover pieces from a different Gundam. I believe this is meant to be like a vent funnel. And so I'm just going to trim it and sand it down to give it the same shape. That way, when it gets airbrushed later, it won't look exactly the same, but it'll have more of like a complete feel to it. I still haven't decided what I'm doing with this particularly, but it's probably going to involve some of the lace patterns and whatnot. And especially, like, if it's going to be this warm for the next couple days. Yeah. Well, yeah, kite-ish. And the weird thing is, also, welcome. The weird thing is, it's more about solving the problem that's taught me more than doing it right the first time. In fact, the irony being, the first Gundam I got has been one of the best kits I've ever made. But it meant that I wasn't prepared for the shitey kits that came along later. I kind of had to learn. Yeah, Dom, we're gonna roll the dice again. XP is only gained from failures. Shit, yeah. Do you ever think about how in D&D you don't get EXP from failing a fight? You just get killed. What's the thought? Oh, Megaboss was saying that one of their first Warhammer kits was the Gazgul, the new one. Yeah. See, when I started, God, the Terminators for Space Hulk were pretty articulate, but everybody else was the two pieces. I don't know if you'll have seen those, but basically, old Space Marines used to look like this because they would be two-part plastic model. They'd be the body and then a little gap in the middle, and then just the hands and the gun would just kind of clip in. It was, let's be honest, it was fugly, but it was ours.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Cult membership renewal complete.
There we go.
Yes, young will, it is a cult. Can I roll the dice and roll a natural 9? We can only hope. Knowing my luck, it will be a 1.
I mean, okay, so firstly, Dom, it's not a cult. Stop telling people it's a cult. I don't know why you all insist on this. It just makes people think that we're weird. Secondly, I can join you for that. So, all right, you heard Dom. We're rolling on this one. You wanted to go for a 9, a natural 9. All right, let's see. 2. Hopefully, you all can do better. Oh shit, Captain Steph got nat 20. Feckin' yo. Good shout. But no, sorry. Aside from Dom, aside from you being a feckin' terror, thank you kindly. And Vanderbeest, thank you for filling the pint glass. See, Neo Stove, the secret is to just always have a D20 on you. That's my power move. Look, Dom, if you can roll a 9 on a D6, I'm very impressed. Sorry, Archivist, I read your comment, and all it made my brain do was The Life of Brian. Don't you see? You're all individuals! Yes, we are all individuals. Oh, what a fucking day. What a fucking day. I hope you're all ready for some feckin' weirdness. Actually, Relu, I didn't ask Dom what we were rolling for, just that we were rolling. Because Dom got a 6 and Vanderbeest got an 11. Nobody got a 9. Oh, and Neoshito got a 10, so no 9s yet. There's no prize, so we're just going by the honor system. Okay. I really got a 14. Moose was saying on a D6, you just got to roll upside down. How are the 6 dots upside down? And again, just because a few of you have joined us, if there is anybody who is very into Sea of Thieves, the first puzzle has been solved. Try and head to the sober meet later, so that'll be something. They asked me if I wanted to be hosting this weekend. While I do like doing hosting stuff sober, I just didn't have it in the tank. I'm still going to finish reviewing this contract, but if it all goes ahead, then I'm going to be working on a cool video game as well as this, so being able to do the both of them. Oh, if you're heading on down, Caffeine, that'll be great. We'll see you on down there. I think the place in question is like a beer and cider place. If I remember rightly. And be warned, they do have, and I quote, the good shit. Yes, it is Gamers Haven. But yeah, friends, I don't really have a lot to add. Like I said, was very sad this morning, but it was one of those kinds. It's one of those kind of sads that we knew was coming. So obviously we're sad to see Perun go, but it was the right call. So yeah. Sorry, Rilu was just adding that they used to be very into Munchkin back in the day in uni. And in Munchkin, when it says roll the dice, I'll tell you, most of the cards read roll the dice, but one of the cards reads roll any dice. Munchkin's like comedic pedanticism. It's absolutely glorious. We actually have too much Munchkin here. Oh yeah, no, caffeine. Like, Perun, from what we gathered, Perun was like 5 years old when we got him. So, dude was like super Grandpa Yoda in guinea pig years. Really, we inherited a fuck ton of Munchkin. We've actually had to downsize the amount of Munchkin. So if anybody wants Axe Cop Munchkin, free to a good home. We've also got the. You know what? I think I'm just gonna bring the RPG books down with us tonight. Someone's gonna wanna, because I want to free up the box. And you know, we are a blessed little household. We're still 5 nuggets deep, including this bundle of joy, who is about to get all the attention all the time, because aside from... Actually, no, more than Perun, Cleona loves attention. She loves cuddles.
She's like, you mean hell?
Yeah, it's really warm in here, isn't it? It's very warm. Okay, so not too long in here for you.
It's like a hoppa choppa 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 choppa. Yo.
And like, I forget who it was that said it, but like... Guinea pigs are wonderful because it's the personality of a massive pet in a tiny body. Like, nobody's a replacement for anybody else. So we were talking in the car on the way back, like, Anya, the guinea pig that I picked out, bear in mind, I've only picked one guinea pig, and it was the sickest guinea pig we've ever had. And the vets were like, yeah.
Reactor online. Sensors online.
Hey!
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Fucking yeah, it's wild around these parts.
It's so wild around these parts.
Famous mate, how you doing? Have you been back streaming? Have I missed them? I hope I haven't. It's good to see you. And are you coming to Sober tonight? I know it's up in bloody Linwood, but yeah, this is Anya, who was the tiniest nuggie when we got her. I guess for like Caldra and peeps who might not know all the stories. So we got to pick out a guinea pig because Cleona needed a friend. Okay. That's fine.
Guinea pigs do best in pairs.
Yes, guinea pigs do best in pairs. So we're at Pet Job Smart Face or wherever it was, and we're going through all the guinea pigs, and this little one, out of all of them, was the only one that didn't freak out. She just sat in the crux of my neck and was real calm. Turned out this was because she was deathly ill. But we took her to the vet.
Her lungs no work.
Yeah, she did not. She had like half.
She'd had some kind of mass, probably just no diaphragm. I think that's what it was.
So we took her to the vet,
and she was too young.
Yes,
she shouldn't have been given to us.
Nope. But yes, so we got her. We took her to the vet. Vet's like 6 months tops. We're like, all right.
She asked me to put him down then.
Yeah. But we got her the good guinea pig drugs. She got like steroids and ketamine.
No, she got antibiotics.
I thought she got steroids.
No.
That's why she got so swole.
No.
Anyway, suffice it to say, Anya's now been with us for years, which is why she's allowed to eat whatever she wants.
3 years.
And her personality after it, as I'm sure some of you have had to deal with the poking and prodding of doctors, this one does not give a fuck. She will kick you if she does not want to be held. You ever seen a
she
guinea
ran
pig?
for me and she was mad.
You ever seen a guinea pig kick somebody? It's hilarious.
She was big mad that I picked her up.
Oh no.
Big mad. It's very warm in here, I know. It's very warm in the whole place.
Yeah. Well, Famous, I'm glad I haven't missed your streams, but I'm looking forward to when they return. And yeah, if you're not up to anything, we'll be heading over to Sober in like 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I don't know. Oh, and Caffeine, if you want to tell the household that we're going to Sober, I haven't really spoken to anybody over the last couple days. That's okay. Sorry, I'm trying not to be a feelsy numpty, but the other thing I did want to say is like, not everybody involved in this is here, but you're all the best fucking bunch of people. Yeah, see, now they want salad. I am one of those people that I go into hermit mode when I'm really not doing good, and having people being like, hey, it's okay if you're hiding, but we love you, it's real fucking cool. One individual was going to drive out here, and I was like, please don't. I'm sad and sober. The two states I do not want to be in. But no, I just want to say thank you. Rilu was saying that their puppies will sucker punch you in the face if they don't get what you want. River does the most, I'm trying to think of the word, regal maneuver. Like loads of puppies do the paw, but River will kind of like sit up, look at you quizzically, and put the paw on you when you're not giving her pets when she wants them. It's not stressed. She's not, she's not worried that she's not getting petted. She's not trying to aggressively court your attentions. No. It's, you seem to have forgotten your place, paw. I've noticed you're not petting me. Change this. And of course, because the Nuggies were in here, River's in the background. Can't quite get the camera around. And she brought in one of the little teddy bears as well. Yeah, Rilu gets it. Sad and sober? No. Sad and sober. But no, like, obviously I'm going to miss a little big man. Obviously I'm sad in that regard. But, it wasn't a surprise. So, yeah. I'll deal with the real world implications of it in the next couple days. But that's a tomorrow problem. There's nothing to be doing today. But yeah, so for those of you careening around Hyrule, for those of you getting into glorious mischief or otherwise, so I was trying to think what I wanted to show you all today, because like I was thinking through it in my brain. I'm like, what is everyone going to be doing today? Either playing Zelda or avoiding Zelda. Maybe if you're not, then you're probably getting drunk and watching Eurovision, which, by the way, no spoilers for Eurovision. I do not want to know anything about it. We're going to a Eurovision party tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. But, what was I saying? Oh, yes. I was like, what can I do? And I was like, shit, I've been wanting to do Res, or specifically Res Infinite for all of you for quite a while. And I was like, oh, shit, that kind of smooth beats and, like, visual vibes thing going on. Like, that would be perfect as like background accoutrement for some mechanical designs around Hyrule. Well, Rilu, all I can do is say thank you for that. I'm stupidly lucky to have you lot. And yeah, Perun lived as few dared to dream. A legend. They say that names have power, and I like to think that little big man certainly earned his. So, let me tell you, ugly crying with a cloth mask is the worst. Because the snot is contained and the tears are on the outside. It is not a good look. It's the worst. Yeah, but like, me too. But like I was saying, Little Big Man had the best innings. I mean, the fact that you all know who he is. I'm sorry, Captain Steph. I thought you'd seen the news on that one. Yeah. Little Big Man passed away this morning. We took him down to the vets, and they gave him the full once over, and they were like, he's not making it to the end of this weekend, and they recommended that it'd be better he goes.
Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal.
What hope? May Perun ride in the haybox in Valhalla.
Fuck yeah. And I mean, Hindle, like, thank you for the continued support, obviously. But yeah, how many guinea pigs can say that they are named legends? And that's something to be celebrated. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh. Air Dragon, I'm sorry you went through that as well. I mean, fucking good on him for doing a 22 and 21 year stints. Like, holy crap. That's impressive. I know I said this at the beginning of the stream, but I'll say it again just for peeps who came in like, you know, we knew it was coming. It wasn't a shock and a surprise, and I do think it was the right call. But you know, again, I've often thought that it is the job of our animal companions to look after us. Like, that's the deal, right? We give them love and food and safety, and they look after us. Like, they put in the hours, and Perun did a lot of heavy lifting. Like, you know, his bestie best mate keeled over right at the start of lockdown. Poor Gunner lived in the freezer for like a year. And also, Perun was one of the most photogenic guinea pigs that I've ever encountered. When I have the emotional bandwidth to do so, we'll do like greatest hits. Because there is one photo that I'm asking Fiona to find of where I've been looking after Perun, but I've fallen asleep because I've just got that post-stream exhaustion. And Perun is looking dead at the camera, being like, save me, he is asleep, come get me, I do not want to be here anymore. Mother, fetch me now. You are laughing and taking pictures, but I desperately need an air vac. So funny. There's also, back in the previous apartment, Fiona took an old hutch that we'd been given, filled it full of dirt, and grew like fresh grass. And Perun's face when he's suddenly in a whole ass box just of fresh food, like, I've never seen a happiness quite like it. And next, so no spoilers for Eurovision. We're having a Eurovision party tomorrow, but getting drunk at Eurovision is always morally acceptable. I also had to explain to someone today about the butter churning meta of Eurovision. How's this for tonal whiplash of conversation? I had to explain the butter churning meta to someone today. So basically, Eurovision has very strict rules on performance, right? You can only have X number of people. I believe some part, be it the vocals or otherwise, must be performed live. Though you are allowed backing tracks, backing songs, etc. And there's one other like technical limitation. I forget. I'm blowing my mind now. So yeah, so over the years, different acts have worked out different ways to basically game the system. And one year, I believe it was Russia, they had, I believe, 3 performers. And so what they did is they just had other random people in place of where their backing dancers would be. And one of them, for some reason, was a femme-presenting individual with, you'll have to forgive me, but it's the only correct way to describe their private balcony as siege cleavage. Just churning butter. Well, pretending to churn butter in some, traditional garb. And that was it. That's all they did throughout the song. And so this was memed, mocked, and then emulated, and then kind of became part of both the lore and the meta of Eurovision. It's fascinating. I had to explain this to someone today. Siege cleavage, yes. Some femme-presenting folk have a level of cleavage that could only be described as siege warfare. Well, that's what we used to describe it. Back in LARP, there was a group called the Diplomancy Corps. And these were, diplomats for hire. What this meant is that they were drinkers in corsets. Mostly femme-presenting. There were a few masculine-presenting, like freelance diplomancers. But, yeah, the bulk of them was femme-presenting. And, like, for those of us who drink, you've probably seen someone do a shot out of somebody's cleavage. Some of us may have seen someone, drink a shot out of someone's own cleavage. But these are the kind of people that would just have a small bottle of Jägermeister there and just be like, wet. I had to play guard duty on one of my first big LARP events. So I was just, a disposable sword hand to guard the diplomancers. And I got so drunk. I was lucky that I had been trained in the art of drinking beforehand. Otherwise, I would have been wasted. Because you go around, and diplomacy is all about staying more sober than the other person to get what you want. Again, you do not have to drink. You should not feel that you have to drink for LARP events or games. It's a British LARP where drinking is allowed, But even as a guard, like, I'm going to every camp. So you meet the gate guards, and they make you wait, and then they're usually like, oh, do you want a beer or a lager or something? You're like, oh, it's quite a warm day. I'd love a lager, thank you. And then you go in, and everyone's like, oh, shots? Shots? Do you want some shots? You're like, I mean, sure. By the time you've hit, like, the third of your allies, and you're just swaying, it's good times. I would say, Hindle, while not all of my stories are drunk stories, all of my interesting ones are. Oh, wow. Rilu was just saying that their cleavage can do the bottle of wine. Bravo, bravo. So, Lagmeister, do you mean drop shots, where you drop a shot into a pint? Or are we talking like what you're served should be described as a shot, but it comes in a pint glass? Because I've only had a couple of those in my life, and I'm still impressed I didn't die. I mean, Rilu, if there's a better reason to have siege cleavage, I can't think of one. Long bendy straw, bottle of wine, let's go baby, hands free. Sadly, I have neither the Norks nor the cleavage to make that happen. But I will admit, in the wee hours where I've been kind of tired of lifting like a tall boy can or something, and I've been like, you know what? It'd be great to just have whacking great big knockers, just so I could plonk it there. The good news is that as I've actually started to gain weight, I have a bit of a belly, which I'm very happy with. And if I get the slouch on, I've got this little divot right there. Love it. Love it. When you spend most of your life as a skeleton wrapped in ham, this is wonderful. Yes, Hindle, for that, and that alone. But no, drinking with Big Suze, I nearly died. Because Big Suze went, Jägerbomb, 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 Jägerbomb. And I was like, so I'm in my like mid-late 20s, and Jägerbombs were kind of like a safety drink at events, because like, it has alcohol in, but a fuck ton of caffeine. My body loves caffeine. Shocking, I know. But yes, so it was always like a safety drink because like if I was getting a bit wobbly, the caffeine would sort me right out. I don't recommend this. Jaeger bombs and caffeine shots are really fucking bad for you. Like, don't do as I do. I hindle. But yeah, Big Suze goes, Jaeger bomb, Jaeger bomb, Jaeger bomb, and we all go, yeah, sure, because we're in safe territory. What Big Suze brought us was Jaeger Red Bull, like someone sprinkling oregano over a fucking pizza. And see, this is the lovely thing about streaming friends is, like, Hindle, Rilu, you've heard all these stories before. But, like, Angel Kalina and other people, you might have heard this. So I got shown this trick in my youth that has saved me. Now, again, you should not feel that you have to drink. If you get into biz dev or nerdery or what have you, like, find your way. But mine was the way of the booze. And I understand this. And I feel I was trained in this. Like, I had my little, like, shonen training arc and everything. Destroyed a lot of property during that. Actually, no, it wasn't a lot, but it was funny. Anyway, but I got shown this technique for if you have to drink an alcohol that you do not want to do. Because a larger portion of your taste buds are, like, air activated. Again, this could be entirely psychosomatic, but it works for me. So what you do is you look at the drink and you kind of study it. If you can, if you have the wherewithal, give it a quizzical, almost like challenging look. Like, oh, okay. Like you're looking at it. What you're doing is you're quietly exhaling all the air in your lungs. And I mean like every bit you can get out. And then knock it back in one. Swallow. Give it a beat, because you don't want to breathe in drastically immediately and then slowly let the air in. You won't taste what you have drunken. Now, this does not mean you will not get drunk, but this means that your body should avoid reacting to the taste and the alcohol. So if, like me, due to binge drinking, your body auto rejects neat alcohol when shotted, it's a very useful technique. Ragnar's like, wait, you drink Jägermeister for fun? That's for unclogging nose on drinking days. Or unclogging drains on warm days. Now, Hendel, I never learned how to inhale a beer. I was always fascinated by it, but I don't have good gullet control. Oh, so there's a technique where you basically just open up your throat and you pour straight into your stomach. So you're not doing the process of swallowing. That one's not a good one to do with alcohol because the method means you're going to taste it all the way through. Yeah. Oh, so Tardy, I mean, give it a shot beforehand. But if you want my super life-saving tips, like right, 1, eggs. For a hen do, stag do, or otherwise, where you know you're going to be ingesting a large amount of alcohol, eggs. Scrambled, fried, what have you. Get a bunch of it in your system. Don't ask me why, it just seems to help. Someone with better brain powers than me would be able to tell you why that is, as a really good line your stomach. Second, about an hour and a half, 2 hours before you go out, you have a half shot of whatever your most common alcohol is. So if you're a vodka drinker, half shot of vodka. It doesn't work with wines and like with wine, ciders, and beers. That one you've just got to do on your own. Some. What you do, you knock that back, and you let it just go through. So you get your warm, you get your tiny tinge of the start of drunk, and then let it pass. What you have done is you have pre-poisoned your body, and so your body's like, all right, listen up, you internal organs. We are going to be under siege. As you can see, points to a picture of the alcohol. We have just been poisoned. We have handled the enemy, and now more of them are coming. So, batten the hatches, raise up the portcullis, and be ready for anything. And, yeah, it's spot on. Now, Hindle is correct. Hail hydrate. That will save you. One, because it means that you're going to be peeing a lot more, but it means the process is working through. You're not going to end up with, getting like magic door whoops drunk. And also, it'll help with the morrow. Oh no, so everybody is right. So bread is very, very good as a good soaking agent or as a good layering agent. But like you want a good lining of like yeah, a good lining of like eggs, carbs, protein as your starter. Okay, Book, but I read that comment in the voice of the demo man from TF2. How do you know I'm a good binge drinker? Well, if I were a bad binge drinker, I wouldn't even be talking to you now, would I? Just one wayward pinch of Jägermeister. An errant twitch of Malort. Well, okay, so Lagmeister, you do have to be careful with the heavy food maneuver because you can end up surprise drunk. Because Lagmeister was saying like heavier food slows digestion. You're not wrong, but be wary. So like if you have a super like heavy dinner or lunch, no, you won't be getting drunk as fast, but the alcohol doesn't go anywhere. So what it can result in, depending on your digestive system and how your metabolism works, is that my friend described it. This is not the actual science of it, but this is a good way to visualize it. So think of your stomach as a bowl. So you've got our fucking roast dinner, taters, the whole shebang, right? And that's slowly being processed. The alcohol is then on top of that. Now anything that's absorbed by the food gets processed with the food. Job's a good one. But then you have this stopgap that when it stops, suddenly it's just booze, 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 booze. I mean, Rilu, there is also that. Rilu just saying having a lot of organs in your digestive system means the alcohol moves through you so quickly, it's difficult to absorb. It is a cheat code. And the irony, Rilu, is that in a cyberpunk dystopian future, there would be people paying inordinate amounts of money to have that as a body modification. Like, sorry, just a little thought that popped into my head. Oh, so Ragnar. American heavy drinking is very deceptive. This is one of those things where, like, the myth and the popular culture is very different from the actual culture. So firstly, the good news is, if you go to either of the coasts in the US, the beer is fucking amazing. And I'm not even joking. Like, comparable Britain probably has some of the worst beer and lager in the world. It's sad, but there it is. The other thing is that the perception of American drinking is basically light beer all day, day. Whereas the traditional style of American drinking is beer and a shot. So you have a shot, you have a beer of choice, what have you. But American beers start at 5%, as opposed to, say, like, British and European beers, which can start at 3 and 3.5. So you're already batting heavy. Hell, even the seltzers out here are 5%. It's great. White Claw do an 8% that I haven't tried yet, and I'm very thinking about it. But no, the traditional, like, dive bar drinking style is beer and a shot. And out here in the US, shots do not have a standard measure. And again, sorry friends, I know you've all heard this story a bunch of times, but we once went up to one of my favourite bars, the Pine Box in Seattle, which is called that because it was an old mortuary. I ordered 4 shots of vodka. What they gave me was 4 straight glasses of fucking vodka. Chilled over ice, which was very kind of them, but it was a fuck ton of alcohol. Because no standard measure. Now, in theory, there's a standard-ish pour. But, like, how strong your drink is if you order, or how large your shot is when you order, is at your bartender's mercy. Oh yeah, Captain Steph, yeah, Texas has some fucking great beers. I couldn't tell you why Texas has good beers. I know why Washington State does, but yeah. Yeah, book, and that's why it's called the Pine Box. And what's really cool is the upstairs areas for seating is what would have been kind of like the church looking over. That was the same bar where I met Floydo for the first time, so I love that bar. Yeah. Well, and Rilu, you are correct that American shots are double, but usually more. it's just worth noting that if we go to one bar and order 3 shots of vodka, and then go to another bar and order 3 shots of vodka, we will get drastically different sizes. And yeah, as Moose says, you tip your bartenders, they will look after you. One of the reasons why even with us being fuck broke, I can afford to go out and drink is because the Houndstooth pours very, very well, and they look after me, you know? But again, even with my abilities, I'm still just drinking gin and tonics, or ciders or what have you. Everyone else who's with me at the bar is having a shot of neat alcohol and another beverage. And Ragnar, like, it's nothing against your good self. The perception of American drinking is very different from people who drink out here. Probably some, like, hangover from, like, prohibition and, like, you know, embarrassment of drinking and whatnot. God. The one I can't do is, as it was described to me, like, the traditional German style of drinking. Like, a half pint of beer, just ad infinitum until death. I can't do it. The bloat kills me. Once tried to do a yard of lager, and yeah, it's the bloat that did me in. Oh, and I will say, like, Hindle, if you do ever end up in Seattle, there are a couple of incredible whiskey places. And I assume that if you're in Seattle, it's because we're doing long con, so like I'll be able to treat everybody. But there's a whiskey bar called Cannon, and it goes from good whiskey to great whiskey to if you have to ask, you can't afford whiskey. Now, I don't have the palate to really appreciate that top shelf stuff, but I'd love to take people there who could, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, same with caffeine and like other like whiskey friendos from the Longship. Oh yeah, Moose. Canadian beer and craft beer scene is amazing. Also, New Zealand as well. But I've told you all that a bunch of times. Yeah, Rilu, for me, it's a combination of the bloat and the heartburn the next day. Oh. Also, Hindle, have yourself a lovely rest of your weekend, friend, and thank you for stopping in. Oh, if it isn't Miss got into the thing she wasn't supposed to and then puked everywhere. Oh yeah, really, the cider scene in the UK is pretty good. Well, it was before I moved out. Like, I have to accept that it's been like 5, coming up on 6 years since I've been in the UK. One thing I've noticed is that, especially with people who, you know, live in a lot of different countries and travel around, like, they lock in their view of a place from when they were there, and then nothing can change that view. Despite the fact that especially places like London change so drastically, they might as well be a different city each time you go in. Oh, now River. Legend says hi. River does not react. Oh yeah. I tell you that, really, they don't have Scrumpy out here. Someone's gonna bring Scrumpy out here and break some people. Like, they have to state that it's hard cider out here. Aww. Hey, Mega Boss, I hope you get some good sleeps, and thank you for hanging out. Oh, interesting. Oh, sorry, just Book was saying that the craft beer scene in Quebec is very, very good because alcohol is taxed so much that the relative difference in price between cheap beer and good beer isn't that much. That is fascinating. It's interesting countries that have heavily taxed alcohol and like how the culture changes on that one. One place I would love to get sloshed at would be Seoul, South Korea, because I've only heard stories about Korean drinking culture, and I really want to try it. Even if it's super gauche, even if it's super like touristy, the way it's been described to me is that at certain places in Korea, you don't go to the bar and order your drinks. You come in, you pay a wedge of money, and you're given a table. And the table comes with a ton of different kinds of booze. And so you and your friends just sit there, drink everything on the table, either clear it off or just have your fill, and that's it. And I'm kind of fascinated with it because it's created a whole bunch of really unique I don't want to call them customs, like unique quirks for Korean drinking culture that I love the idea of. So one is like the methods to which you pour your friend's drink. Not so formal as like, classic sake culture, but in a similar kind of way. But then also the construction of shots becomes an elaborate like one-upmanship because the beers are pretty light and the primary alcohol is shoju, which is about wine strength. Oh no, Ragnar, absolutely. Sorry, Ragnar was saying, well, I wouldn't say never drink with Finnish people or Polish individuals or any of the Eastern European squad. Just go at it like you would, like, being in the vague presence of, like, I don't know, alligators. Like, they're not out to hurt you, but if startled, they could. One of my favourite memories from touring with Rome 2 was after the big press event, all the Polish and Eastern European journos piling into a cab at like 1:30 in the morning so they could keep drinking in Rome. Like, there's a level of session drinking that scares me, frankly. Oh, and Ludo, a blackcurrant cider. Oh. Yeah, and I don't like being reductionist in the sense of like, if person from X country, person drink like X, because like, but it's very, very fascinating how all these different cultures come together. Like, again, alcohol is a fascinating thing. If you start looking at it like Warhammer or a hobby, it makes a lot more sense. And like, different competitive scenes have different rules. Because Ludo, I was going to mention Reykjavik. I haven't had the chance to drink out there, but to my understanding, Reykjavik has a pre-gaming culture that is second to none because it's stupidly expensive to drink in Iceland, right? Stupidly expensive. So there's this like pre-game house party before you go out culture, which I fucking love. We used to pre-game in NZ as well because of similar reasons. But I guess I was the rich friend when we were drinking in Dunedin, so yeah, I paid for a lot of game devs to get very drunk. And I guess I wasn't rich, but I could afford to just pick up the tab. It's a good time. Oh, so Ragnar, so your Polish drinking culture is vodka, beer, let's go, a baby. What tends to blindside a lot of individuals that come from Polish drinking culture is what we've come to know as LARP drinking, or pass the bottle, which is how I was trained. And this means you don't know what the person next to you just passed, have a swig and see how you feel about it. This like mixing of boozes that should be a terrible idea, but you do it anyway. And I've seen that blindside a lot of people because their system's just not used to the myriad of different kinds of alcohols and sugars and whatnot. Because again, it's an easy trap to fall into that it's all about the percentage. Nah. Booze isn't math. Booze is chemistry. Booze is art. There are a million factors applying to the human body at any one time. And like, 3 shots of tequila will hit you different than 3 shots of whiskey, you know what I mean? And I find this Sorry, friends, you got me talking about booze. Like I used to say, drinking's like a Warhammer match. It's complex, it's expensive, and no one's really sure who wins at the end, Oh, that's pretty smart. Ludo was saying that when they lived out in Reykjavik, The rule was whoever flew in most recently is buying, because they could get it duty-free. Moose and thus cocktails. Finding out. Okay, I was way too late in life. Admittedly, in the last like 5-10 years. Time has no meaning after lockdown. What can I fucking say? But finding out that cocktail culture came from Prohibition era because the alcohol was so fucking terrible, they had to mask the taste. And so while things like, gin and tonic and stuff like that have like a long, proud and traditional history, things like cocktails as we understand them came from, well, I brewed this in my bathtub and it tastes like rust and death, but I don't want to be sober, so let's make this work. Oh, Ragnar, that sounds fucking lovely. I can't see it ever happening, but if I ever did get stupid money, I would do essentially like a Longship on tour stream. Get one of those streaming backpacks and just go meet everybody everywhere and get repeatedly drunk. That would be my my treat. Now, if I'm being honest, if I end up with stupid money, what I'm going to do is we're going to do long con, and then, I don't know, help out all the friendos I want to help out. My life probably wouldn't change very much at all. Yeah. I mean, Ragnar, it's a fun pipe dream. So LongCon's kind of got two purposes. One, it's fun to imagine what a convention for us would be like. And two, it's kind of like an in case of money failsafe, as I've come to know myself very well since we started doing this, right? It's very hard not to understand yourself when you stream full time, if that makes a weird sense. I'm just pointing there. There we go. What was I saying? Oh, yes. I know that if I ever ended up with stupid money, it would kill me. Like, the amount of... I mean, obviously, I would never, ever condone or consume illegal substances. No. But theoretically, if I ended up with that kind of money, that's probably how I'd go. So I'd need to find a way to not do that. Jafar James says, I call Artist Alley. Heck yeah. Also, we're doing a murder mystery. Oh, it'd be fucking great. Well, so Navi, the quotes I've seen for the backpack rigs for travel streaming, the big cost is the mobile phone plans. So the ones I've seen, basically you have 2 to 4 phones operating in tandem. Then you have the renderer, the camera, and maybe a mic as well. But it's the phone plans and the data where it ends up being expensive, because that's where you're spending, hundreds, if not thousands, a month on like dedicated data plans, especially international ones. Soper had a backpack to borrow. Yeah, Moose, you know what? The definition of stupid money as well. I see stupid money as being the point beyond numbers making sense. You know what I mean? That's how I define it, Yeah, Navi, we mooch off Wi-Fi and save big. I've done that in the past with middling results. Stupid GDC, not thinking I'm stupid media. But yeah, in the event that ever happens, like I said, we do long con, we throw a whole bunch of money at friendos and help them, and then, yeah, stash enough so I don't have to worry about the animals. Jobs are good. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. I'll probably still end up, you know, renting and buying most of my wardrobe from Goodwill. Oh, Ragnar says that stupid money is buying a 1-to-1 scale Gundam kit. There's a good point, Neo Show. If I'm stupid money, I could just start my own publication. There we go. I'll start a publishing house. That's what I'll do. Pop me a few mil, start a publishing house, and with the goal being to publish interesting shit and burn through all the money. There's the goal. Oh. Longship Interactive. That's not bad. Although sadly, like, I think Longship Interactive is taken, and the people behind like Valhalla Films are hyper litigious, so we'd have to come up with something else. Honestly, I'd probably just call it Affordable Choice, and kind of like, because there used to be a publishing brand called Sold Out back in the day, which was really fucking confusing when reading the old UK game charts, and it'd be like, so-and-so, sold out. And I'm like, oh, piss, I can't get it. I can't buy it. And if you ever think users are too clever to understand, they're not. They never are. And yeah, Moose, that's a good one. Though, I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy an abode, because that feels like a trap into the need for stupider and stupider money. You know what I mean? Okay, Ragnar's saying Viking Longship Interactive is taken. Just Longship Interactive is up to get. Yeah, I mean, if we have stupid money, we could fight them in court if they got all like me. If they want to get all up on us like the Muppets, we'll beat them down like the Muppets. I love the Muppets, and I don't know why I'm so fighty with them. No one clipped my best line from Sea of Thieves yesterday, which is, even if the Muppet babies have this chest, we're going to body them. If little baby Gonzo is waddling out with a chest of fortune, he's taken a cannonball to the gob. I was very proud of that line, and nobody clipped it. Oh, Bismarck said publishing magazines was the first thing they thought of. To my understanding, wasn't that how the French Dispatch came about? Was a guy with too much money who just wanted to kind of do the thing, get rid of it, and be done? I love the idea of print media, but that's another story. Yeah, and Jafar James, that's a good point. Gonzo would be able to catch the cannonball and have a very, very long arm. Oh. But it's a fun to dream. Like I said, if we had stupid money, we'd do LongCon. And LongCon would be, the event pays for your flights, pays for your accommodation, we get you out here. If you need fees to like file for or update your passports, we sort all that. Like, I basically would pay an events company to handle all of the nonsense, so we can all just enjoy it, you know? Then we'd put together a series of quintessentially Longshipian flavoured nonsense, and go from there. Moose, I didn't need that image in my head. Yeah, Jafar, we take stupid money and we pay somebody to handle all the booking and the back and forth. God. That was a secret I learned from the Minecraft team. I wonder what Lydia's doing these days. God, I can't remember their surname. Probably nothing. They made bank. Which, again, good on them. For those of you who don't know, when Hatsune Miku sold Mojang to Microsoft, everybody got an equi payout, including the guy who joined like 3 weeks prior. They all just got a chunk of millions. That's a fun fact for you. But sorry, the reason why I mentioned Lydia from Minecraft was because when Minecon happened, rather than trying to organize a whole ass convention themselves, Lydia went, oh, why don't I hire an events company? And so they did. Like, that's the play. Like, that's the play, if you've got the cash. I think they stopped doing the Minecraft conventions and started doing, like, what was it, Minecon World? I forget. I still get people trying to steal my account to get the cape from the first Minecon. Jafar James, I did not see that RTX is relaunching. That'll be interesting. I haven't really been watching a lot of Rooster Teeth stuff for a long time, so I'm trying to think, like, what that would be. But, I mean, hell, props to them. You know, I can't say that I know everybody from down that way, but the ones that I have met and chatted with were always feckin' lovely to me, so... we got to go out there 1 year. Let me tell you, if you've never experienced it, and the Texans amongst you will start laughing as soon as I say this, I did not think about what a convention in July in Austin would be like. Spoiler, warm. That was a fucking experience. But yeah. Steph, you should have fucking seen me. I was running from store to store to avoid the sun and just, like, get aircon. Like, it's not that hot in Seattle comparable to the rest of the world, but I'm fucking dying here. Actually, if you'll forgive the white balance, friends, I'm just going to crack the back window a little bit. Please don't be warmer outside. Oh, it is not warmer outside. All right. Use my gas. Oh! Gunned him down! Gunned him down! Oh. There we go. So Navi, it's very, very sunny today. I'm reminded of the who was it? I think it was Terry Pratchett. Oh no, so Flair, we have AC. We've just got to set it up, but we're semi-reluctant because, I mean, we're gonna have this heat for like what, a day or two,
Maybe.
if that, and then it's gonna be back to it. And getting the AC unit out is a pain. I mean, thank you again to, I don't know if they're chilling and illing, but Lyris for hooking us up, you fucking legend. Oh. Harvest of joy.
Guinea pigs.
Because they need it. Hey! To Tiny Casca, how are you doing, friend? Washo and welcome. I haven't forgotten, we are doing MGS3 at some point. At the moment, I'm just trying to get hold of one of the late 360s with an HDMI and a copy of MGS3, the HD collection. But Flair, you gotta... I'm not saying that I'm one of those people that expects everybody to come to them, but if you ever want to come up this way, we'd love to have you. The animals have kind of kept us pretty landlocked this year. But we're set for aircon, but we'd love to see you. But yeah, so to Tiny Casca, how are you doing, friend? It's been 1,000 years. Alleged, Watto and welcome. It is a day. Our eldest guinea pig passed away this morning, so we've just been kind of... We knew it was happening, we knew it was coming, and it's obviously very sad. but we understand it. River, you already made yourself sick today. Well, so Bismarck, one of the reasons why we took this flat of all the others when we were moving out of our last one is it has 2 bathrooms. So if it gets stupid warm, what we do is we tent the living room to keep all the guinea pigs cool, and then we can take cold showers or have a cold bath or something in the other rooms. During the first of the big Seattle heat waves, that was the one that got up to like 110, 114, right? Yeah. The devil's anus. I just sat in our bathtub in my swim trunks and just kept turning on the cold water. Got drunk on like $4 budget sparkling wine. It was great. It was like my own little like, you know, spa for broke bitches. It was great. Yeah, Bismarck, it was bad. And Navi and everybody, like, thank you. You know, as I said, it was... We knew it was coming, and, you know, Little Big Man was our oldest, and he was doing very, very poorly over the last couple of days. So, yeah, he got to go out on his terms. He's a nugget of legend. So, yeah. Alleged, Metal Gear Solid 3 is not on Steam. For some reason, Konami hates money, I guess. Sorry, friends. So, if you haven't... so, myself and Tiny Casca go way, way back. And have been big nerds throughout the entirety of it. And they'd requested a stream of Metal Gear Solid 3. And honestly, the best way to do it without having to mess around with jank is the HD collection on 360. But at the moment, I don't want to ask for cash for that because we'll probably need cash to just make it through again. But I don't want to talk about that today. So, but yeah, I've been making a list of 360 games I want to stream for you all. So things like, as I've said before, Eat Led, The Legend of Matt Hazard, Lost Planet 2, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, because it's fucking awful. I mean, Flair, if you have a 360 with an HDMI output, it will go to a good home. It will sit here, and it will. I don't know why I keep doing fucking ninja signs. Oh, well, I tell you what, Flair, I'll talk to Fiona because we got to find for that level of trip, we've got to find a sitter for Amos. But. I mean, 1, it would be great to see your place. 2, it'd be fucking great to see you. You know? It was super cool that you were working an event, but you were working the one event that wasn't the same one that either me or Fiona were at. Alleged's asking about the Starship Troopers game. Okay. When they say early access, they mean it. It is going to be rough, it is going to be tough, and it is going to be early. However... obviously, if I had played it, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I'd be under NDA. But, in theory, if I had played it, I would say that it is one of the most interesting, RTS, FPS hybrid builds that I've seen. It's fucking fun. And for all the jank, theoretically, I would have wanted to play it more. Yeah, it's going to be full of bugs. But yeah, when they say early access, they mean it. Bismarck, I would never ask you to spend that kind of money, but if that ever happens, I will absolutely stream Haze because never has there been a tale of more fucking hubris. Maybe I'd say Dust 514, maybe. But as tales of hubris go, Haze is fascinating. And Tiny Casca, good to hear you're doing well. Yeah, aside from the sad news about the guinea pig, we're doing all right out here. I think times are tough for everybody at the moment, so you know we're getting through it. My Gundam hobbies have been continuing, and without even having to pay points, because you're all being lovely today, check out this Mother Hubbard. This was my latest Gundam build, which may or may not be a present for a very, very lovely individual. I haven't decided if it is a present, just because it was supposed to be red gold, but the red gold the red gold paint beat the fuck out of my airbrush because it needed to be watered down more. Fiona's been helping me fix those. So yeah, this is the one I put together. I've gone for like a Sakura Petals stencil, and I'm very proud of the airbrushing on this. So yeah, to the answer of how am I doing, I'm building a lot of Gundams. Yeah, I know, Square Peg. I'm absolutely with you there.
No.
The loss of Star Wars Battlefront 3 was a real blow, and I've really struggled to get excited about the newer EA Star Wars because they're just not as good. Oh, and Lagmeister, I have seen Mouse. The Cuphead in the style... Sorry, a Doom in the style of Steamboat Willie. And Lagmeister, like, thank you kindly. It's been a lot. I mean, hey, Alleged, I'd love to do something similar. In fact, me and Sean once mused about doing... so if you haven't seen them, so Covixology is our resident Gundam judge who has come on the show several times and is really fucking cool. They have an Instagram account where they pair beer reviews with Gundam builds, and their photography is phenomenal. You know how when you look at someone's Instagram account, you're like, how do you have so much style? They're that kind of individual. Where was I going with it? Oh yes, me and Sean wanted to do something similar but with cocktails, and then the world shut down. And to Tiny Cusker, that would be a very kind offer. However, the actual cost of shipping something from the UK to the US, especially something weighted like a PS3, is no small amount. If that is a thing that you have the funds to do, thank you kindly. But yeah, having shipped a bunch of stuff, yeah, we're on the expensive side of the coast. Jafar James, Bears and Gundams does exist as well. The bear guy phenomenon is fascinating. Basically, there's a particular underwater type of Gundam called the AC Guy. Let me bring it up. Let's get some good images. Alright, so look at this whole chunky lad. Where's a good picture? Yeah, there's a good one. So, it's specifically designed for underwater special forces. It's got this big, chunky, blocky kind of vibe. And it's the, like, mass-produced submarine Gundam. Because here's the problem with Gundams. They sink. This one is designed not to sink. Also, cute little details. The mono eye on the head can go all the way up, so as it's swimming through the water, you can see where it's going. Surprisingly lethal because all it's got to do to kill other mechs is grab them and pull them underwater. However, do you notice something about its little stocky legs and its chubby little arms? Yeah, it's really fucking cute. Oh, as a quick aside, in Gundam Thunderbolt, they actually do update the design a little bit to make them actually like cool special forces mechs. But for the most part, it's a big cute chonker. So, somebody got the fun idea to turn them into cutie fucking patooties. So these are the bear guys, and there are loads of them. So we have Angel Bear Guy, Dapper Gentleman Bear Guy, 7-Eleven Bear Guy, and a whole host of others. Slightly more haunting with a weird face guy. Bear Guy with a ribbon. And these are real kits that you can get. This isn't just a meme. Once a year, the Gundam Special place will put on like a collection of shiny ones with signs. And the customizing scene around it is fascinating. So someone's done like Attack on Titan Bear Guy. Oh, and this Mother Hubbard, that's sitting, I think, in our Christmas decorations. I put that together a few years back, and we hung it on our last big Christmas tree. But that's one you can just get. So Lagmeister, I couldn't tell you where the bear guy started. I haven't researched it proper. But I think it predates Build Divers for sure. And Kitish, it's because it looks like the Famofu mascot costume. But, like, it's cute as shit. So this AC guy here, bear guy, still has the mono eye that goes up the top. It has a child's backpack with a recorder for a weapon in it. Fucking love it. Sorry, yeah, just going into nonsense Gundam facts now. So, friends, I don't think we're going to be playing Res Infinite this evening, and I do apologise for that. I think I just want to just natter and hang out with you all, if that's cool. Like, I'm doing good. I'm not stressing out. Like, obviously I'm a little sad, but oh, big flumpy boy. Poor Amos is overheating. I think I just want to chat with you all for a bit more, if that's all right. You know. But yeah, Lagmeister, it's one of those. I don't know when it began, but it was definitely represented. Kind of like the synergy between like SD Gundam, because. Oh, while I dislike what SD Gundam stands for, it's kind of... They've actually removed the abbreviation and they're just called SD Gundams now. They're not... Originally, they were unfortunately called Super Deformed Gundams, which is not good. Thankfully, they've dropped that. But anyway, in the original Gundam was recut to movies. So they could be played in cinemas, as I'm sure you can well understand. But at the beginning, middle, and end, for like the intermission and like before and after, they made these cute little cartoons that were like comedy parody bits of like, you know, Zaku's and the Gundam being silly buggers. And those were so successful, they got their own spin-off show of just jokes and bits that then evolved into the whole SD Gundam franchise, which is fucking huge. Yeah, the last one they did was SD Gundam Romance in the Three Kingdoms. And let me see if I can get a couple of them without disturbing the baby boy. You're okay, baby boy. I know, it's very warm. It's very warm today. Alright, there we go. Just sneak past him. So check out this one. So here's like tall geese with a cool feather. And the absolutely fanciful one, check out this Mother Hubbard. Now, unfortunately, the Romance in the Three Kingdoms period is one of my like historical blind spots. So I don't know who this Gundam is based on. But super spiky and super flamey. Like, I don't think anyone should be using Dynasty Warriors for any kind of historical knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, and you are right, whoever was saying that, Ragnar, they're getting more of the master grade SD kits, one of those being Barbatus, so Hopefully I'll have enough cash for that when it drops. Fingers crossed. Not that I'm hurting for Gundam kids. Oh, sorry friends, I don't know how we got onto the subject of me talking your ear up about Gundams. Although it's, let's be honest, it's pretty much a consistent. Oh, so Dustin, do not worry. The @everyone ping doesn't sound off for anybody who's not like myself or mod, so you're all good. And thank you. I really appreciate the sentiment. I really do. Like I said, obviously very sad about it, but it was the right call. And, you know, little big man was not doing good. So, yeah. Oh, we went from beers to bears. That was it. Oh, yeah, that was it. Because it was Gundam Beers and then Gundam Bears. And I was like, wait a second. You know what? Just as we're just nattering and hanging out, there are 2 kits that I'm looking forward to building at some point. At some point. I guess I'm kind of saving them for a rainy day. And these were from... I got hooked up with these ones. But I have 2... I wouldn't even call them comedy kits. I have 7-Eleven gold color Gundam to put together at some point, which will be feckin' fun. And... Mountain Dew Original Unicorn. I've already finished Code Red and Baja Blast, but here we are. Original Mountain Dew flavored unicorn. Once I realised that all the Gundam unicorns were based on Mountain Dew flavors, that just changed my way of thinking. Yeah, Gamer Gundams. Yeah. So Dustin, we're just kind of having a natter. Not really doing too much right now. I don't think we're going to be doing res after all today, but we will spend a day on that at some point. Oh, maybe I'll be blind drunk later on tonight and we'll just have a fucking rave out. It'd be great. And Lagmeister, it was myself that did the ramen kit. Look at this. I'm not even charging you all to show you Gundams. This is free. This is off the clock Gundam flashing. But yes, I did do the Gundam noodle kit. And so check it out. If you get the chance, like if you see this, get it, because while it looks like a joke, this was so much fun to make. You can't really see it here, but all the little edging and detail are these fascinating little like screw together parts. Got my block of noodles inside. But the thing I'm proud of, like if you check out the ingredients on the back, that's all detail. That's not decals. So I inked this one up. And I have this one for a rainy day, but this was a gift from Eric. Eric got me a Gundam topper. So in Japan, as a promotional giveaway for... this was the Gundam 30th anniversary. The chili tomato char asnable jalug, which would have gone on a regular pack of cup noodles. So when you bought it, you have like a toy to take apart and put together. So I have that as a little cup topper. Yeah. Yeah, and Lagmeister, it is actually worth it. I've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Puzzle top and puzzle box kits. Those look fascinating. But again, I'm doing well. Like, depending on how like broke we are over the summer, like there's a distinct possibility of actually making it to No Great November this year. Well, okay. The big stopping block is the Megex. That's the one I'm afraid of. Oh, and Biggs. Firstly, Watto and welcome. Secondly, thank you for sending me a video of dogs bodying children. One of my favourite subgenres. if you have kids, I'm sure they are lovely and wonderful. When times are tough, when things get me down, children getting bowled over by dogs living their best life will always make me feel better. Oh, heck. Ragnar says their local store has the master grade AC guy. Good luck! I will say, the AC guy is one that, after No Grey November and when we have the money to do so, I might consider, because of the big stocky parts, I could really do some interesting paint jobs on it. Like, I've got everything taken apart for Gundam Barbatus, and I'm going to do some interesting shit with it, but like, there's a lot of pieces, my friends. There's a lot of pieces. Like, it's going to take a while, but, and I'm only really saying this because, like, Tiny Cusker and Peeps are in, I have a whole box. I spent $17. I spent $17 at the hobby store on a collection of sponges to do some detail work, and check this shit out, which I wouldn't usually be so stoked for. Look at this. Curtain lace. What you do is you clip this onto the Gundam parts after you've primed it and use this to create like a stenciling effect to give it like some really classy stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the Barbatus parts. I can't decide on a color scheme. I've only got black base coat, so I'm tempted to do a black and silver, maybe with a red accent, but I haven't decided. I mean, Jafar James, I've also seen happy dogs take out whole ass people. We grew up with an Irish deerhound, so which is like, take a wolfhound and make it bigger. And there used to be the whole thing of like, you gotta stand still, because if you don't, the dog sees you. The dog has planned its path and it's going at full feckin' tilt and zipping through, right? If you zig when you should have zagged, did you just get spun up in the air like a top? Still remember it. A Mega Man Blue could be good. I haven't tried doing... Oh yeah, Casca, I forgot you met Flora. God. That dog was bigger than you. God. Timelines are super weird. Timelines are super weird. Seriously, after lockdown, I feel like I understand Doctor Who as a franchise much better. Because it's like all the timelines have just gone... So like, Casca, you and I simultaneously hung out 2 minutes ago and 8,000 years ago. It is exactly the same. Time is weird. That is true. It's super timey-wimey. I've been accused by individuals out here of being a time vortex. I don't think I'm a time vortex. I think time just stopped making sense. Like, in the... Around about, like, 2017, 2018, and it just became more and more pronounced. You know what? Again, Casca, I'm there with you. Time's never made sense. You're trying to tell me there are 24 hours in a day. Alright, fine. You want to tell me that every single one of those hours is the same? Bullshit. Bullshit and fucking chips. Alright? My lunch break, if it's an hour long, is absolutely not an hour long. The last hour of working any shift job in retail is more than an hour. Several hours longer than an hour. And for some reason, the time between 9:30 and 11 is like 3 days long. But 11:30 to midnight is 12 seconds. Time makes no sense! Like, yes, there are 24 hours in a day, but they are like the fucking Midnight Crew from Homestuck. They are not the same. Aesthetically, they have matching similarities, and that is where it fucking ends. Okay, tell me I'm wrong. Each hour of the day has a weird feckin' personality. The weirdest one of all is 4 AM. 4 a.m. just never knows what it wants to be one day to the next. Does it want to be a calm moment, looking out over the afternoon of dawn? Or is it the, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, maximum hour? You know, 5 a.m. is obviously the chain smoking, alright guys, we're doing this, I guess. This is a day now. Either get up or get out, I don't care which. Unfortunately, I can't do the voice that I want to. It's a school teacher from Bob's Burgers, but you get the picture. Jafar James, running for Anime High School is 8 a.m. Don't ask me why. By 9 a.m., you're either late or you're where you need to be. But 8 a.m. has that, you know, piece of toast in mouth vibe. Another one of those times that 8 a.m. is a time truncation in that it is both experientially very short and very long. Ah, Navi, thank you. You got my reference. It's fun. I want to now do a lineup of each hour of the day and their personalities. I think that's something that we need. If we can personify, you know, planets and years, then fuck it. Let's personify the whole ass day. Alright, I'm officially getting weird with it today. Yeah. See, Ragnar, you're entirely correct. The last hour at, you know, your place of employment is the longest hour. So how in the hot heck is it supposed to be exactly the same amount of time as everything else? I'm calling bullshit. This is some fucking wizard magic that we've all had to put up with. Alright? Kronos the Time Wizard is fucking with us. And has been for quite some time. Oh, no! Well, Lagmeister, now you've said it, now we've got to feckin' do it. 24 characters, 24 hours. Oh, god damn it, Lagmeister. Okay, so Lagmeister was saying, first we anthropomorphize the hours of the day, then we turn it into a dating sim. And then the dating sim will be called No Kronos. Get it? No Chrono? No Kronos? Because obviously Kronos runs the school slash university slash coffee shop where all the hours of a day work. $2 p.m. is officially the best looking. I'm just going to say it now. 2 p.m. is the best looking hour of the day. It's after lunch, it's easy going, you've gotten past the hard morning, it's all downhill from there. Yeah, Casket again. Yeah, LARP time is so weird. The first evening of time seems like it lasts for days. But like, it's so wild. Also, one of the LARP systems I used to go to, you got one day to set up your tents and meet up with everybody, and then the game started the next day. That Thursday night would always be the longest night. I'm just like sitting there and vibrating and waiting for the game to start. Oh shit! Moose was going with the dating game. Dustin's got Chrono Cross My Heart, a 24-hour dating sim. Oh yeah, Ragnar, 12 p.m., like midnight, is the absolute, like, siren song of destruction. You know, they're the bad kid from the wrong side of the tracks. They're pretty, they're attractive, and they always lead you down a dark path. Like, oh, it's just me, 12 p.m. midnight. You probably should be going to bed and doing something sensible. But, as they pull out like a bag of weed and a flask of something potent. Lagmeister, unfortunately, you do now have to make this game. One of us is going to. Ah, Kuska, I didn't know they did that for Empire. Because all of my friendos fucking love Empire, but I've never had the chance to do it. Because they all kind of made the switch after I moved overseas. I still have a couple of people that are LT, but yeah. All right, Alleged. Have a lovely rest of your evening. I'm gonna have to make a move in a little bit, friends, just because I am so warm, so warm. Oh yeah, sorry, and friends, if you're wondering what we're talking about, Empire and the Lorien Trust are two of the big LARP systems in the UK. The interesting thing is, like, while there are more people in the US, shocking, and there are larger spread out systems, the US doesn't have many big LARP events. Whereas the UK, there are two big ones, and those are like Lorien Trust and Empire. And like, yo, those big, chunky pitch battles are so cool. Yes, Casca said the last Empire event was 3,000 people. Pitched battles. It's so good. Oh yeah, Lagmeister. Yeah, it's time to start that GDD. Make a treatment game doc. It's happening. You know what, Ragnar? 6 p.m. is the... I mean, I can't think of a good gender-neutral version, but yes, that the girl next door type, the wholesome interest. Because, like, if you start winding down your day at about 6, you know what? You're having a wholesome time. You're gonna get in bed. You might even be snoozing by 8 o'clock at night. That's a good life. God. 8 p.m. is a woo girl. Again, I apologize. I can't think of a good gender-neutral term for woo girl. 8 p.m. is a woo girl. Oh yeah, so Ragnar, I was just talking about like English language territories. Yeah, in Europe there are some feckin' massive ones. I find it's hard to find a good system in Europe because you need to find a biting point between like full contact and RP. But yeah, seeing some of the pictures of some of the big LARPs is feckin' great. Because I know the LT's gotten up to 10k at its like glory days. Good boy. Everyone's coming to flump in here because it's so warm. Oh. Sorry, River's here, Amos is down here. Okay, so friendos, just thank you for keeping me company for the last couple hours. I'm gonna bring our little banter and conversation to a close. I apologise that we didn't have our arms in the air Saturday rave today. We will return to it at some point. Like, the game works and it's gonna be feckin' great. I know, Flair. I'm cooking and we're gonna trundle up to sober in a little bit. I mean, maybe like an hour or so. You won't have me on Tuesday as well. So I'm gonna try and bully some people into a stream either Sunday or Monday. Actually, no. I'm going to try and bully some people into a stream on Monday because I do want to do the Sea of Thieves mystery. And who knows? The reason why is I'm going to be doing some stuff at Pocket Gamer Connects downtown in Seattle on Tuesday. So that's where I'll be, judging video games and being my generally mischievous self. No, it's going to be real good. Pocket Gamer is a real good place to talk, like, business. You know what I mean? So it'll be good to get the skinny on, you know, what games industry peeps are thinking for the year. And I get to judge a bunch of indie games, which is really fucking cool. Well, no, actually, Angel Kalina, that's what I was going to say to you lot. Like, thank you for being here for us. Like, today was a lot. It was like right after we got back from the vets of... Back off, Fiona. Also, nice. Fiona at 69k. Like, River vomited everywhere, Amos vomited everywhere, and it was just one of those like moments of just like, oh, may the gods give us strength because we fucking need it. And yeah, I can come, I can sit with you lot, and we can have a natter, talk about everything and nothing, and I'm extremely grateful for that, friends. Alright? I will probably have to ask for your help a whole bunch this month, and I do apologise for that. But we'll talk about that proper soon. We'll do like a long Shippian round table, maybe before like Rain World on Wednesday or something. But I ain't giving up. Still going. I would say, so, Drifter, Watto and welcome. It's not a cult, you're terror. Oh, but yeah, I just want to say thank you to you all so fucking much, alright? It's been a lovely little banter, and yeah, I hope to see you all a whole bunch more, alright? But if you see me in Discord later tonight, I'm sorry, I'll probably be stinking drunk. I'm so sorry. And no spoilers for fucking Eurovision, because we're watching it tomorrow. The long ship, it's not a cult. It's not a cult. Oh yeah, and Ikaska, it was lovely to see you, alright? And to that end, I need to thank the following people, because the only reason that I get to sit here and do this day in, day out is because you lot chuck cash at it. Like, that's the fucking long and short of it. So, thank you. And specifically, I would like to thank the following people. So to Martin, Bacon Avenger, Hun Spectre, Caffeine and Vanderbeest, to Mandelbrot, Kaitish Lamesh, Captain Stephanie Barnes, and all of you, thank you so much. Again, bits and donations are what keep us going the absolute most, so I'm so thankful for everything you lot throw in. Thank you to the entire mod team, not just self-congratulating Nightbot, but Caffeine, Lizzie T. Pow and Moose, and to little big man himself, Perun, but also
Last
compliment
minute
Cap.
credit ruining cheer.
All set, Fearless No, Ludo History, Dom Rocks, The Famous, and Hindle. Thank you all kindly. Like those, no one had a sub spree that was less than like what, 20 months? It's just fucking wild. Anyway, in true Twitchian fashion, you do not have to go home, but you cannot stay here. And I will keep it to peeps that are not hitting Zelda or Zelda or otherwise. Feck it. I'm going to pass you all over to CJ. CJ's playing Prey, which is Prey Nouveau as well, which is absolutely exceptional. Yeah, Flair, we're gonna pop off. Apparently the Sober meet has already started, because I guess Sober's doing this thing where they start stupid early now, but alright. You know? So we'll be trundling up. Yeah, Moose, I do not know what is up with the credits not spotting you. Oh, so Flair, so Sober is the Seattle Online Broadcasters Association. They do a meetup once a month, and they've generally been really good. They've been very, very good to me. And the meets used to be really good. The last one I went to was a bit trash garbage. But this is in a slightly different venue, so it might be good. It might be terrible. But that's where I'm heading to after this, you know? Anyway, on the subject of Sober, so whilst CJ DeMarco is no longer an individual based out of Seattle, they are a friend I met from Sober. So I'm very happy to introduce you. Flair, actually, you've met CJ. That's the gent that came with us when we went to the lawyer party at not this last GDC, the GDC before, and they're only streaming Prey to like an person. So, like, if we come on in there and hang out with all, how many are coming with on the raid? 42 of us. Nice. We're gonna make somebody's Saturday. Okay, yeah, you know what, that's fair. Like, you do meet a lot of people, but yeah. Yeah. So, friends, thank you kindly for putting up with all of my nonsense and being fucking lovely today. I hope you have an exceptional rest of your weekend. I'll try and be on Discord as much as I can. And yeah, if possible, we'll do a sneaky Sea of Thieves on Monday. Because the mystery has been solved. The puzzle has been fixed. Sorry, CJ's got backstabbed and murdered. So this is going to be very funny. But yeah, I'll see you all in Discord. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday, and to be continued, alright? Cheers all. Let's ride.